Tomorrow, 115 cardinals begin the sanctified and secret process of electing the next pope.
The process of electing the next pope is set to begin tomorrow, with 115 cardinals engaging in the sacred and confidential conclave. Pope Francis has often been linked to Cardinal Luis Tagle, a lesser-known figure who has the potential to redefine the future of the Catholic Church. Their close association has sparked curiosity and, at times, controversy. As the Pope arrives in Manila, welcoming the faithful to the Cathedral Basilica of the Immaculate Conception, he has now made the decision to publicly acknowledge Cardinal Tagle. This revelation raises significant questions. Why has Pope Francis chosen this moment to disclose such information? How will this impact the Church's influence on a global scale? In our discussion, we explore the deep ties between Pope Francis and Cardinal Tagle and examine the Pope's decision to share the truth about their connection. The relationship between Pope Francis and Cardinal Luis Tagle is built on deep loyalty, shared ideologies, and mutual admiration, all aimed at driving innovation within the Catholic Church. Tagle embodies the same values as the Pope: simplicity, hospitality, and a strong sensitivity to the needs of the people. Since the beginning of his papacy, Pope Francis has envisioned a church that prioritizes the poor, a vision that Tagle himself had already championed in Manila before becoming a cardinal. His ability to connect with ordinary people and bring the Church closer to them aligns with the Pope's mission. However, Pope Francis sees clergy as more than just speakers delivering inspirational messages. He believes in their active role in uplifting communities. Their shared vision of a relevant and compassionate church has strengthened their collaboration over time. Their partnership reached a significant milestone when Tagle was appointed prefect of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples in 2019, a position often referred to as the Red Pope, due to its immense authority over missionary work across continents. This appointment signaled Pope Francis' trust in Tagle to spearhead the expansion of Catholic evangelization, particularly in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, which are poised to shape the future of the Church. However, their bond extends beyond professional ties. Tagle exhibits the very qualities that Pope Francis has long championed, prioritizing compassion over rigid doctrine, fostering dialogue over division, and focusing on action rather than mere words. Both leaders have faced opposition from traditionalist factions but remain steadfast in their pursuit of a more inclusive church. Tagle's leadership style, rooted in humility and humanity, closely mirrors that of Pope Francis. For instance, during the devastating Typhoon Haiyan in 2013, Tagle's swift response and deep compassion positioned him as a leader of the Church of Mercy, a concept Pope Francis has consistently advocated. Beyond his charitable work, Tagle's theological expertise and commitment to inclusive evangelization have made him a prominent figure among liberal Catholics worldwide. Pope Francis has repeatedly emphasized that church leadership must not remain strictly clerical but should serve as a symbol of outreach to the marginalized and forgotten. His recent statements have reignited discussions about Tagle's role in the Vatican's future. Although the Pope has not explicitly outlined a long-term vision for Tagle, their ongoing work appears to be part of a well-thought-out plan. Tagle's journey from Manila to the global stage is a testament to purposeful leadership. Born in 1957 in the Philippines, his life reflects a deep connection to his community and a dedication to serving the poor. Gifted with exceptional intellect and a profound spiritual calling from an early age, he pursued theological studies and emerged as one of the Catholic Church's leading figures. His rise to leadership became more pronounced when he was appointed Archbishop of Manila, setting him on a path that would eventually lead to the highest corridors of the Vatican. In 2011, Cardinal Luis Tagle was appointed as the Archbishop of Manila, a decision that was widely praised by overseas Filipino workers. Many saw his new role as a challenge, given the leadership responsibilities of one of the largest Catholic dioceses globally. However, Tagle quickly established himself as a reformist who resisted materialism and greed, instead focusing on restoring care for the Church and its people, prioritizing missionary work, and advocating for justice. His heartfelt and touching sermons resonated deeply with millions, earning him the nickname Asia's Francis. His rise to international prominence was marked by several key promotions, reflecting his increasing influence within the Vatican. As the president of Caritas Internationalis, a Catholic charity operating in 165 countries, Tagle championed campaigns against poverty, hunger, and climate change. His ability to foster communication between diverse cultures and ideologies within the Church positioned him as a central figure in evangelization efforts. His appointment as prefect of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples in 2019 was a pivotal moment, placing him at the heart of the Church's global evangelization mission. Tagle embraced cultural diversity and played an active role in reorganizing the Church's evangelization strategies, particularly in non-Western countries such as those in Asia and Africa. The implications of Tagle's growing popularity lie in his strategic skills in mobilization and diplomacy. His theological depth, combined with his ability to navigate complex church dynamics, has positioned him as a leader capable of addressing the challenges facing the institution. As his influence within the Vatican expands, speculation has emerged about his future role. Could he take on an even greater leadership position or perhaps be a potential candidate for the papacy? If so, what would a church under Tagle's leadership look like? Under Pope Francis, the Catholic Church has shifted its focus toward the marginalized, embracing the vision of a church for the poor. This vision has been strengthened by the presence of Cardinal Tagle, whose mission aligns with advocating justice, kindness, and compassion. Pope Francis has emphasized that the Church must remain a refuge for society's outcasts, a belief that is reflected in Tagle's work as president of Caritas Internationalis. His leadership has driven efforts against hunger, provided shelter for refugees, and tackled climate change, all while negotiating resources and inspiring individuals into action. Tagle has consistently highlighted the importance of listening, stating that those who truly love will never tire of listening. Unlike conventional hierarchical power structures, he prioritizes dialogue, especially with those on society's peripheries. Despite its noble intentions, the Church's focus on the marginalized has faced criticism. Some argue that prioritizing social causes over traditional doctrines risks diluting Catholic teachings. Critics accuse Pope Francis and his supporters of shifting toward political correctness at the expense of core Church values. However, Pope Francis and Cardinal Tagle remain steadfast, believing that failure to address contemporary issues would render the Church irrelevant. In addition to his humanitarian efforts, Tagle is actively working to spread the Pope's vision, particularly in fostering interfaith dialogue. By engaging with leaders of other faiths, he promotes tolerance and unity in an increasingly divided world. Through the leadership of Pope Francis and Cardinal Tagle, Catholicism is evolving before our eyes, raising the question of whether this shift in focus could redefine the Church's mission amid rapid global change. Beneath the unity and reverence of the Vatican lies an ongoing power struggle that has shaped the authority of the Roman Catholic Church. The Vatican, caught between tradition and modernity, has always been a battleground for ideological conflicts. Reformists like Pope Francis and Cardinal Tagle are often at odds with conservative factions that resist change. Pope Francis has pushed for reforms, including decentralizing church authority, condemning clericalism, and addressing pressing global issues such as migration, climate change, and economic transparency. He has warned that without decisive action, climate change could make the Earth uninhabitable. However, these efforts have met strong opposition from ultra-conservative groups within the Church, who argue that such changes deviate from divine teachings. Cardinal Tagle's growing role in the Vatican reflects this ideological struggle. While he aligns with Pope Francis' vision of a compassionate, outward-facing Church, his rise has not been universally welcomed. His inclusive leadership style and emphasis on dialogue challenge the more rigid theological perspectives of traditionalists. One of the key battlegrounds in this internal struggle is financial reform. Pope Francis has made significant efforts to increase financial transparency within the Vatican, an initiative that has sparked considerable controversy. As a key figure in managing charitable activities, Tagle supports these reforms, advocating for greater accountability. However, his stance has put him at odds with entrenched power groups seeking to maintain the status quo. The question of succession further complicates the Vatican's political landscape. While Pope Francis has not explicitly named a successor, the increasing visibility of Tagle and other reformist figures has led to speculation about the Church's future direction. Conservatives are likely to support candidates who will maintain traditional structures rather than continue Pope Francis' reforms. This behind-the-scenes power struggle extends beyond the Vatican to dioceses worldwide, shaping how church leaders address modern challenges. The tension between traditional Catholicism and reform efforts has defined this era of the Church. How these dynamics unfold will determine the Church's ability to navigate the challenges of the 21st century, and leaders like Cardinal Tagle will play a crucial role in this transition. Cardinal Luis Tagle's journey in the Catholic Church is far from over. As a young and dynamic figure, he has made a significant impact as a champion of Catholicism that prioritizes the poor and marginalized. He is widely recognized for defending human rights, advocating for immigrants, and standing with the oppressed. However, his influence extends beyond mere advocacy. He is actively shaping the Church while managing both internal and external challenges. One of Tagle's greatest strengths is his ability to connect with people from all walks of life. Whether preaching to thousands in Manila or representing the Pope internationally, he remains humble and approachable, a quality that has endeared him to many. In an era when many long for a shepherd's leadership, Tagle's presence offers hope to progressive Catholics worldwide. Rather than adhering to a rigid institutionalist approach, Cardinal Luis Tagle has embraced an open and dynamic vision of Catholicism, positioning himself as a revolutionary within the evolving Catholic Church. However, his legacy is being shaped amid significant volatility, as the Church witnesses a decline in priests and influence in Europe and North America, while experiencing a steady rise in the number of faithful in Asia and Africa. This demographic shift presents both opportunities and challenges, as serving such a vast and diverse congregation requires cultural sensitivity. Tagle, being a non-Westerner himself, possesses an innate understanding of non-Western cultures, making him well-equipped for this role. Another defining trait attributed to Tagle is his ability to balance tradition with modern trends, particularly through his advocacy for interfaith dialogue and environmental causes. His participation in the Paris Climate Conference highlighted his commitment to fairness, equity, and social justice, signaling his willingness to engage with modernity. However, this progressive stance has drawn criticism from conservatives within the Church, who accuse him of shifting away from doctrinal matters, reflecting the broader conflicts that define contemporary Catholic authority. The issue of leadership within the Catholic Church remains pivotal, as the reforms initiated under Pope Francis require continuity and commitment from future leaders. Tagle's increasing influence within the Vatican and unwavering loyalty to Pope Francis suggest that he may play a crucial role in shaping the Church's future. However, the question remains whether his vision will resonate with a vast and often divided global Catholic community. While Cardinal Tagle's impact continues to unfold, he faces the challenge of leading within an institution bound by centuries-old conventions while adapting to a rapidly changing world. His ability to inspire hope, unite people, and drive meaningful change will define his legacy. Will his leadership usher in a new era of healing, inclusivity, and revival for the Catholic Church? Among those considered potential successors to Pope Francis, Cardinal Pietro Parolin emerges as a formidable contender against Cardinal Tagle. As the Vatican Secretary of State, Parolin holds a powerful position overseeing the Church's diplomatic and administrative affairs, giving him significant exposure and influence. Unlike Tagle, who is known for his pastoral and reformist approach, Parolin has built his reputation through diplomatic expertise and conservative theological views. Being Italian, he hails from the Church's traditional core, gaining respect among traditionalists for his ability to navigate the Church's geopolitical relations while maintaining its global influence. Whereas Tagle is seen as a leader for the peripheries, Parolin is regarded as a strategic thinker adept at working within the Vatican hierarchy. His role as a mediator within the Church has allowed him to balance differing perspectives, favoring gradual reform over drastic changes. This approach has won him favor among those who prefer a measured evolution of the Church's policies rather than radical shifts. However, critics argue that his methods lack the creativity needed to address the modern challenges facing the Catholic Church in an era of global transformation. The contrast between Tagle and Parolin reflects the broader ideological divide within the Church. Tagle represents a forward-looking, people-centered vision focused on inclusion and compassionate action, while Parolin embodies the traditional diplomatic pragmatism long associated with the Vatican administration. This divergence raises fundamental questions about the future direction of the Church and the qualities most desirable in its next leader. Additionally, Parolin's prominence underscores the enduring dominance of Italian clergy within the Vatican, a trend that has persisted for centuries. While Pope Francis's election marked a break from this tradition, Parolin's candidacy suggests a potential return to an Italian-led papacy. This dynamic adds another layer of complexity to the succession debate, highlighting the tension between continuity and reform within the Church. Despite their differences, both Tagle and Parolin are deeply committed to the Church's mission, yet their contrasting leadership styles present a critical decision for the future of Catholicism. Will the Church prioritize deeper engagement with the faithful and grassroots movements, or will it maintain its established clerical hierarchy? The outcome of this leadership contest will shape the Catholic Church for decades to come. As speculation about Pope Francis's successor continues, the rivalry between Tagle and Parolin offers valuable insight into the Church's internal struggles and its ability to navigate an increasingly polarized and complex world. What are your thoughts on Cardinal Tagle as the next pope? Who do you believe is most likely to ascend to the papal throne? Share your opinions in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Click on the next video displayed on your screen, you won't want to miss it.